Hello YouTube, got a little something different today. I will be getting back to my Athlon XP machine building. Got a couple parts or a couple things to try. Got to wait for them to come in the mail. But for now I've got my old Ensoniq ESQ1 synthesizer and it don't work. Had it for a little while and it's never worked correctly. And it's basically just sat in the corner of my room waiting for the part that I needed to buy. Fortunately, there's someone out there that makes a replacement part and also sells the exact original part, depending on how much you want to spend. That should solve my problem. So, let me turn it on and I'll show you what it's doing. So, if we hit the power button, you can see the display. Shows a bunch of garbage. It's not lighting up all the way, which hopefully is normal-ish. If you turn it off and turn it back on, it shows you something different every single time. And if I turn on an amp, it should be plugged in, it will make noise. So the part is that I got a kit. Looks like this after you assemble it. You have a new chip that goes on there. This plugs in there somewhere. I'm gonna have to open it up and figure out exactly how to plug it in and where to plug it in. It's a relatively easy build. Here, let me zoom in here. Basically just a circuit board. You've got two rows of pin headers, and then the chip itself, which is in this little anti-static bag. And I assume, if I understand if I read the instructions correctly, that's all I have to do. Now, if I were using a replacement display assembly, then, whoops, I would be installing, and I just threw it on the floor, this jumper assembly thing here, as well as configuring jumper 1, which is only a couple more steps, but even then, still just some pretty simple soldering. Nothing to be afraid of. I think even a beginner solderer could do this correctly as long as they follow the instructions, which are well written, and yeah, it's pretty easy. So I'm going to open this up now, take out the screws. This should flip up, I think, if I remember right. I don't remember exactly how this opens, but I'll figure it out and I'll have it open here in just a snap. Well, it appears I was correct. It's just 2 screws on each side of the board. They're like a 2.5mm hex. And then it hinges open like most old synthesizers do. Probably the new ones too. Anyway, let's figure out where to put this thing. I'm thinking somewhere in here. This general area. So this should be the display board. Already unplugged this side of it. Can unplug those two, and I believe this is our offending chip on the other side of the board. So we can just flip this over. And I guess maybe set it right back down where it was, but upside down, just to give you an idea. Yep, that should be it right there. Now I need to pay attention to where pin 1 is according to the instructions and make sure I don't get this in backwards, but it should be pretty easy. The instructions say that I will be soldering my new board on the solder side. It inserts on the solder side, so not the component side. Solder side gets stuck in there and then soldered on the other side, which will require me to line up. You can see the little notch there. in the new PCB. You've got the notch on the chip that it's replacing. So those just need to line up. And then it will get soldered in that way, this way. That ought to work. So cool. Yep. Looks like I need to desolder a chip, which will be a lot of fun. Well, I sure hope I got that in the right direction. Also, I mentioned, if you can solder, you can probably build this kit. A little caveat to that, the fact that you have to desolder the old chip, you're probably going to have a little bit of trouble if you've not desoldered before. I use the old spring-loaded guy, and it's always a little bit scary, even though I've done it many times. Yeah, it's still just a little iffy, a little scary, but hopefully everything's alright here. Now we can install our chip. It's got a notch. Looks like I installed the socket correctly where the notch should be. We'll stick it in, kind of rock it in. There it goes. Alright. Do a quick little inspection here, make sure I didn't lose any pins that got bounced out. But it looks like we're good to go. The only thing left to do is to try it out, so let's do it. I'm a little afraid, just because this is, oh, see, then you do things like that on camera. Nice. Good job, Alec. I should have screwed it in. I'm gonna screw it in. No, we're not gonna try and half-ass this crap. I'm gonna at least put one screw in the dang thing, and then we can close it correctly, plug it in correctly, and test it correctly. 1 second. Better. We got 2 screws in. Just enough to hold the display in place. So, make sure our power's off. Plug in the power. Make sure I'm plugged in at the bottom too. Yep. We'll go ahead and plug in, where is it? The audio out. And power. Look at that! Look at that! It works! It friggin' works. Oh right, that's why it's not making any sound, because I don't have an amplifier on. Sweet! Everything seems to work. Everything is brass 1. Nice. Sweet. Let's try and change some settings. I really don't know how to use one of these things yet. Octave. We'll go way up. Nice. Way low. Octave 2. Or sorry, oscillator 2. Right. Nice. Yeah. Well, anyway, it worked out great. Links in the description of where I got it and what I got. Email the guy if you got one of these and you got the same problem and you think you can fix it the same way that I did, or he might have replacement parts in stock for you. And that's about it for today. I feel relieved that I actually did it right. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm glad I got it back together. Everything's working great. Now all I have to do is put the screws in, learn how to use it. Take it easy.